Hello, good afternoon, our members. You're welcome. Sorry for the delay in starting. We're just getting people in the room.
Oh, great. So Angela, can you allow Ayomide's camera? She's a panelist, and Ada is it?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Let me try and do that now.
Good afternoon. So Ayomide and Angela, sorry, Ayomide and Adaize, they are both panelists. A warm welcome to everyone who is on the call. Sorry, we're just trying to set up, and we'll start the webinar in a bit. Ada, are you on?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. Okay, so Ayomide, okay, Angela said,
Hello, good
just
afternoon,
this.
everyone.
Okay. I'm not a technical person, though. Are you sure I can do that? Here. Angela, I'm not able to do that, so I don't know how to do it, though. Let me not lie.
Sorry, ma. If you just make me co-host again, I can try and do that.
Oh,
But I
make
believe
you
Madam
host. Okay,
Ayomide
let me
can
do that.
speak.
Okay, let me do that. Because, sorry. Yeah, because I asked her to unmute. Hi, Angela. You have made this technical thing to make me demure. I'm now very demure too. It will nothing change about you settings, right?
Ma, you're clearly very demure. You know the lingo.
I'm telling you, this IT thing has made me to be very demure. I mean, now let me come on Gen Z person. How to now make you host again? Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
There is a notification showing that she's a host already.
Okay, Angela is the host already, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma. I've just changed, and I've
Okay.
invited my Madam Ayomide to be a panelist as well.
Okay, good. Okay then. Please come and remove this thing from the screen for me. How do you remove this? This notification.
I think I'm now a panelist, but I can't turn on my video because the host has stopped it. Sorry, Madam Adese and Madam Armide, that's also fixed. You should now be able to put on your videos. All right, thank you.
Speak.
Thank you, Angela.
No, I can't. Okay, click on it. Please, let me raise that concern a bit brighter. Okay, good. We're set to go. Ayomide, would you like to put on your camera so that our guests can see your face? Okay.
Yes, my camera is on. Good afternoon, everyone. This is feedback.
Um, you are. Face is not really clear. Okay, time check. 2:10. Oh, can you hear me? Angela is. Better network. Okay, Ada, you have your hand up. You want to say something before I start? Ada, your hand is up. Ada, can you hear me? Ada, your hand is up. Do you have something you want to say? Oh dear. Okay, I'll just begin because it's like Ada is our host. She's the session. I'm just okay, great. Ada, can you hear me? Ayomide, can you buzz Ada because it's like she can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me, Ayomide?
I think she's speaking, but she's muted. That's the issue. So I guess she can hear, but
Oh,
she's
okay,
muted.
because her hands are raised. I mean, she has her hand up, so that's why I'm asking. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and you're welcome to the WPS cluster of Auli Nigeria's monthly knowledge series. I think this is our third session, if I'm not wrong. And I will be able to tell us better. And it's a pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar on engendered policy, an essential discussion that lies at the heart of our collective efforts in promoting peace, security, and sustainable development across the continent. As a cluster coordinator of Women, Peace and Security Cluster of the Aulin Network, Nigeria chapter, I am honored to lead this crucial conversation. Aulin is a continental network established to amplify the voices and impact of African women leaders at all levels. So it serves as a platform for African women to unite, to lead, and to advocate for transformative changes in our communities and beyond. Our network is built on six foundational pillars. One is leadership and governance. The economic empowerment. The fourth is education, training, and mentorship. The fifth is health and well-being. The sixth is media and communication, which is what we're doing here. Our gathering today reaffirms our commitment to ensuring that gender perspectives are not only included, but are central to policy development and implementation. Engendered policies are not just about fairness, they are about creating more resilient, inclusive societies where everyone has the opportunity to contribute and benefit from peace and security. Our discussions will delve into the practical. I won't let the cat out of the bag. Ayomide is going to talk more about that. I look forward to the insights and collaborations that will emerge from this session as we work together to shape a future where gender equity is not just an idea, but a reality. Thank you for being here and for your unwavering dedication to this important cause. So I pass the mic back to Ada to take over from here. Ada, over to you. Do we still have Ada? Ada, are you on the call?
I'm here. Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, great. Awesome. Great. So I pass it over to you. Please take over.
Hello, everyone. So good to see a lot of faces here. Welcome to this month's series. We'll be discussing engendering budgets and policies. But just before we start, it would be nice for us to get to meet one another. I would love for us to introduce ourselves, what we do, and I'll take over from there and introduce our guests. Maybe I should call us in the order of the names I can see here. Fatima Suleiman, would you like to introduce yourself and a tidbit about you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay. Is Fatima here with us? Would you like to introduce yourself? I guess we'll have to circle back to her. What about Miriam? Miriam, would you mind introducing yourself? Do you mind, Miriam, can you hear us? I think some of us are struggling with miking. The red button on your screen, you just click on it, then you'll be able to unmute yourself. Can we try? Can we even see the red button to unmute?
Alternatively, if they're not able to unmute, you can drop a message in the chat box, and then maybe the host can read it out. You can introduce yourself in the chat box. Just drop your name, where you are, your location, what you do in the chat box, and then the host can read it out if you're not able to unmute.
That actually works, yeah. While we are waiting for others to unmute themselves or either send their profile about themselves, I will just introduce our guest for today. I'm excited to listen to her. I hope many of us are looking forward to this. Thank you. Just a minute. We have with us here today Olanipekun Ayomide Fason. She's a passionate advocate for people-driven development in Africa, dedicated to advancing the continent through advocacy and unwavering support for humanitarian causes, aligned with African Union's agenda for 2063. Yes, she's that forward-driven. Ayomide is a multilingual professional and author with over 5 years of expertise in strategic communications, brand management, and business consulting. She has core values that revolve around integrity, excellence, and empathy. She consistently demonstrates her ability to negotiate effectively, manage teams, solve problems, and influence decision-making processes. She has a deep passion for education, community development, nation building, and sustainability drives her work. Currently, Ayomide leads Chara's Haven Limited, CHL Africa, a social enterprise she founded with a vision inspired by Afrocapitalism, championing sustainable economic prosperity and social impact by supporting small and medium-sized enterprise across Africa. She also co-founded the Covered Heritage Foundation, where she coaches children and teenagers and organizes outreaches to impact undeserved children across the continent. Additionally, she sits on the board of the Africa Young Leaders Foundation, an international nonprofit organization creating generational change by inculcating in African youths the values and principles to succeed and prepare for leadership in their communities. Ayomide holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in English language from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. She's pursuing a master's in entrepreneurship and innovation at the Rome Business School, Nigeria. She also holds a diploma in French, and she's a member of the Forbes Black community. Sorry about that. She has participated in prestigious leadership programs, including Yaga Africa's Community Organizing Institution, the Mankizi Forward Program, and she leads Africa High Growth Coaching Program. Let us all give a rousing welcome to Ayomide. Thank you so much for joining us. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. Now I realize that my bio is pretty long. I'm sorry. I should have shortened it a bit. All right. Thank you so much. Can I go ahead to start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I would like to share my screen as I have it. Background noise and the wind as well that might be distracting. But I hope that we still enjoy the best of today, right? Thank you so much. I'll just pause now and then share my Please, can you see my screen? Please, can you confirm that you can see my screen? Anybody?
Yes, you can.
Okay, awesome. All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Once again, my name is Ayende Fatalani, and we'll be discussing the need for women-centered policy in Nigeria. So it's quite interesting. I like this topic, and sometimes I feel it's possibly overflowed, or women this, women that. Why are they talking about women? Why is it that we are not talking about men and all of that? But the truth is, like we said, so it's only the thief that goes to the hospital, and it's what if you need something, then you will go after getting it. But the men, it's already the man's role. That's the truth as it stands today, and we are trying to change that narrative. And that is why we are going to be doing more, and that's why it looks like men are doing more, advocating for a change, advocating for the difference, advocating for gender equality. And yes, we have some of them who are also equal shades, right? We have men who are supporting women, amongst other things, right? So this is not a topic that is overflowed. I wanted to call that out. And we'll just be seeing today. I've made sure that at the end of today, everybody's leaving with one lesson or the other, one action point that, okay, as I'm leaving this meeting today, this is one thing I'm going to be doing to contribute to the change that I want to see ultimately, right? So once again, I apologize for the background noise. I hope I'm very helpful. So I will just move quickly into what I have here, which is the problem statement. Right? So sometimes most people don't even know that it's a big deal. For instance, you can see here, we contribute 50% to Nigeria's population. That means nearly half of Nigeria's population are women. And look at the National Assembly as it stands today. We have only 3% representation of women in that position. We have 4% in the House of Representatives. And of course, we have 0% when okay, I think, yeah, we have 0% when it comes to governorship, right? We have no female governor in Nigeria. We have no female, we never had a female president. And we are 50% of the Nigerian population. So imagine how hard or how easy would that sound, or would it look like for a male-dominated government to actually favor the women in a sense, right? So it's pretty hard, and this is why everybody's channeling their energy as much as possible. We get discussions here and there. How can we ensure that we have women-centered policy? I think for me, one way to ensure that we even have women-centered policy is to have women in the place of position and influence, and that's why I'll be directing our conversation on towards today, right? And we need all hands on deck. We need more women in the room to speak for women. Even if we have men who are interested in women or passionate about women, they don't know the struggles that we go through. For instance, want to advocate that the women maternity leave should be more than the regular 3 months or the average 3 months that we get. A man has never given birth before. A man has probably seen many women give birth, but they've never gone through the pain of labor. Neither have they nurtured the child from breastfeeding into recovering from postpartum, amongst other things, recovering from childbirth into that postpartum phase, amongst other things. So imagine that it's going to be very hard for a man to even sign that into you. He might just pity you, but he cannot empathize. And empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes, right? So a man can really empathize with women because it's very hard for them to put themselves into women's shoes. Because not because they don't want to, but they just can't relate. The biology, everything involved is quite different, and it's also very interesting, right? So, and we're special. Let's know that. So we're very special and unique in the way God has designed us, and that's also going to be why we ourselves have to take the bull by the horn and also make it and decide or be determined to be involved, and then from that step move forward to make and push for women-centered policies. Right? So now that I've given this overview of the problem, I imagine everybody has aligned with me that there is a problem and we need solution. Like I said, in the 2023 election, it was even better. And in the previous election, before the 2023 election, that was 2019, it was better because at this point now, at the 2023 election, the number of women in the National Assembly fell by 19%. So what happened there? We would say that, oh, they didn't give us positions. Did we push for it? Did we contest? Were we nominated? Or did we also make a case for us to be elected? How many female governor representatives or candidates, sorry, how many female governor candidates came out in Nigeria, for instance, right? So not to talk of, so before we say, oh, they didn't give us the position, what are we doing ourselves to ensure that We have that we gain access into the rooms where decisions have been made, and we're able to also make a case for females like us. So moving quickly to the barriers, right? So I said, what are the barriers to women participation? And this is a quote from somebody who is the president and chief executive officer of Youth for Technology Foundation in Nigeria. Her name is Njideka Ari, right? She said, if women had the same opportunity as men, we could drive the GDP up by $13.9 billion. That's saying that even men are we're putting the world at a disadvantage for not being involved in what we are doing, right? That means we have the potential, the capacity to change the world, to increase our economy, boost our economy, to make brilliant changes. And because we women or mothers, there's this nurture, you have that nurturing side to you. You're able to balance empathy and excellence. You're able to be smart, intelligent, lead with your mind and with your heart at the same time, right? These are some of the threats that we come with, and we actually should push ourselves beyond these certain barriers that I've highlighted there, and be able to also be moved to be involved for a change. For instance, speaking of political barriers, we said that cultural and societal norms discourages women from participating in politics, for instance. There's just somewhere in our head that we're like, oh, that's for the men. And somebody says, it's very hard. I don't want to be involved. Oh, no, let me stay here. Let me manage this. Oh, no, I'm just fine where I am, and all of that. So this cultural and societal norms, while I agree that we didn't bring that upon ourselves, right? But this is our reality. This is the problem, and we have to fix it. There's one thing to know there's a problem, it's another thing to be very invested and interested in fixing it. And this is my aim, sole aim together. I'm leaving everyone in this room today with that motivation and encouragement to say, I'm doing one thing, just one thing that I'm going to change the world with and to influence the entire space, right? So this cultural and societal, one thing that you can take out from here is possibly say, I'm going to start debunking these norms about women cannot be involved in the position of leadership to my younger girls, to ladies around me, to teenagers, and to young people. That's a way to break the barrier, right? I can tell my own particular, I'm going to dedicate an Instagram page to be posting so in line with debunking societal norms. All these things. Oh, it's just everybody's doing it. No, you are reaching a target audience that some other people may not even have access to. I may not have access to your cousins, to your niece, to your nephew, but you have access to them. You can teach them. You can teach the guys to respect the girls. You can teach the girls to stand up for themselves, to know who they are, right? And another one is lack of political leadership and support for women countries. I was at NIP Africa sometime earlier in the month, right, in August, right? And we had a conversation with Honorable Shea, and we were talking about women and women leadership and all of that. And he said that he has heard a lot of times that people say women are the problems of women, that women who enters the room of authority and power don't want to open the doors for other women. And of course, we're all women in the room, but 3 of us, we kept asking us, is that true? And we just laughed because some people share their experience where some women have been against their promotion in their workplace, against their growth and all of that. But we also had people who had examples of women adulting them, women mentoring them, women encouraging them and motivating them. Some people, their mother is their motivation every day, every time, telling them you can do this, you are a fighter, you can win, and all of that. So while we have the bad ones, there was a woman that said something that said, because we have women who have bad characters, that they probably don't open doors for women. Doesn't mean that we should assume that every woman is not interested in helping one another, right? And at the same time, that is why you as an individual should live thinking that I would not be one of those, I won't be part of the statistics of women that would close the door against other women, right? So that's the way we would outnumber the good, we outnumber the bad eventually. So lack of political mentorship and support from women candidates is a big challenge. And that's because we have few women, so probably they are swamped, they're overwhelmed with a lot of activities so that they can't even catch up or catch a breath to even advocate for somebody else, right? Or to even mentor somebody else. So that's why even in your space, with anything you've also even learned from here, it's good to cascade down to somebody else. Make sure you share your knowledge, with this. If you find a resource, share with someone. You don't know who you are possibly encouraging, even if it's not yourself, right? So that's also something. Another barrier is financial constraint, limited access to campaign funding, amongst other things. While this is very valid, another way I would like us to shift our eyes from the problem and still get into the room first. Then when we get inside, let money now be the challenge. And then we will do crowdfunding. And you will see that you'll be surprised that people, even men, will be willing to contribute to things. By the time you pitch the benefits, your manifesto, what you bring to the table, money would show. I think I've known that for a fact in this, from experience in recent time, that money will typically show, whether it may be hard in the first instance, but don't let money be the reason why you rather stick at home than share your value to the world, right? So these barriers we need to debunk them so that women can have access, and also women can begin. This will lead to having women-centered policies around the world. Then speaking of economic gap, right, there's also a wide wage gap and unequal access to economic opportunities. The way it is in politics is the way it is at work. You see that people are clamoring for there should be more representation of women in the office, in the managerial role, senior management. And the good thing is that a lot of organizations are now jumping on that. And I think that's beautiful. Even if some of them, I need to put this caveat, are doing it just because they want to collect grants and sponsorships from foreign organizations who would not give them any money if they don't have at least 30% representation of women within their organization. Yes, even if it's for that reason they're doing it, they are actually bringing people in, right? So it's still a win for the women. So, and when women get to that position, it's important that we also prove ourselves. I know that people have also argued and talked about this and said, proving ourselves, but men, are they proving themselves? The truth is, the men are working. They are working, and we should also work. We are not running a race with the men to say, I want to match out to do this man. We are just out doing who you are. Let the competition be with you. Ensure that anybody that picks up your work and reviews it will confirm or affirm that no, no, no. If it's X, Y, if it's this person's work, if it's Fatima's work, it is excellent. Give it or take. I can go to sleep when I give Fatima an activity to do. If it's this other person, no, give or take. I can give this person the work to do and you can do it. So you understand? So using that approach or using that, having that mindset of excellence will help you be the best at what you do and not necessarily run a race or competition with the man in your no, it's not even about the women want to overtake the men. No, the women want to excel. That is it. We want to excel, we want our voices to be heard, and we want to reach the top of our career just without any hindrance or any barrier, actually. So also limited access to education and skill development programs. This is actually from the early stage, right? Ignorance, access, lack of access to quality education and all of that, right? For us in this room, you can say everybody else is likely educated. Our role now is to now take what we know now to say, I know my daughter is educated, I know my son is this, but what of that orphan on the street? What of that orphan in an orphanage home? What of those underserved children elsewhere? What are you doing or what can you do? Even if you cannot organize an outreach, your children used book, you can go and donate them in an orphanage home. That's part of you contributing to something like, oh, my children are now all in university, all these are primary school tests because I didn't using it for. Gather them, visit, find the orphanage and say, I'm dropping this here. Put an ID camp, distribute it. It's something, or even find an NGO that does this and say, I don't want anybody to see my face. You people please take this and trust it into their hands and let them share it. That way, we are also bridging a particular gap. You don't know which child will see that book, and that book will be and it starts an ignition of interest in education. That they will grow up again and become somebody. They may never know you, they may never make the connection or the link, but you have sown a seed that even God will reward you for it, and that's the truth. So that's also something I wanted to mention. And then discrimination in hiring and promotion practice. Also at that meeting, I had a lot of people say that if you are pregnant, even from the interview process, if they find out that a woman is pregnant, they would not give the person the job offer and all of that. While we still have very wicked and wicked organization or toxic organization, I also want to say that they are good ones. So what I'm trying to do is I'm showing you the barriers that exist, but I'm trying to encourage us to look away from the barriers. And that's not to deny that they don't exist, they exist in the new sense of it, but it's saying that we are stepping over that, and that's how to overcome. That's how to win. Because if we keep looking at the problems, we won't do anything. If I keep saying, this place is very noisy, or I'm not allowed to work from home today, or this and that, I can't, all this little, I won't have the opportunity to be conversing with you now, right? So if we keep looking at the problems, we would miss out on the opportunities that exist as well. So I will just pause here again for us to just reflect. If you want to take a note, please write it down. What's that one thing you would do that would be solving this barrier or reducing this gap, right? You don't have to show me. Just write it in your notes if you have a note with you on your notepad, if you have a phone with you. What's that one thing you're going to do differently to bridge this gap or this barrier that currently exists in Nigeria? That's meaning being involved the participation, women and girls alike. Thank you. All right, so I'll just move now to some reason that we need women to be in women-centered policies, right? So for each of them, I have four of them actually, and after the four, there's just one more slide, and then we'll call it a day. The first one, yes, the quote says, when women do better, economies do better. And that's similar to the first quote that we had earlier. And this is by the former managing director of International Monetary Fund. And that's a big deal. So if she can say that when women do better, economies do better. And this other person, Mrs. Njike, I also had mentioned that if Nigerian women had the same opportunity as men, they could drive GDP up by 13.9 billion. So that means we have a lot of contributions to when it comes to boosting the economy. I don't know how many of us watched the Formula Ransom Kuti movie, but I thought to bring it in if you watched it or if you haven't, right? For her, she was a pioneer, a Nigerian feminist, and she advocated for women's rights to education and economic empowerment, right? In fact, one of the things I wanted to bring up from the video, from the movie, if you watched it, is the fact that they were not taxing the men, right? It was the women, the market women that were being taxed. And why is it that they could get taxes from the market women? It's because the market women were generating income enough for them to increase the tax on, and they're using that tax to fund the kind they call the firewall or something. Those are the warriors at the point, or like some like King's Guard, right? So that means that women are very entrepreneurial. We can make do with just give a woman a space and a few things. If I give her nothing, she will find something out of nothing. The next thing, there's a stall, she's selling something. The next thing, she's using her hands to knit or make something. And she's making business, money is flowing from somewhere. But there's trade, there's business that is trade by or possibly trade by barter. But my point is women have that power and that economic mindset. So when we have more women involved, and I'm also doing this to encourage you, for you to also encourage others so that you don't run away when they say, oh, there's a women conversation, and like, oh, not again, I'm not doing. I don't know why I'm insisting that there are possible people that have just such bias that enough of this women conversation, we are tired, there's no change. We have been talking, what happened? This is it. It's because when we talk, go back into nothing. Right? So now we are going to do something. Like I said, no matter how little it is, you should leave here with an action plan. So let me just read what it says here. That studies have shown that when women participate fully in the economy, GDP can increase as much as 25% in some countries. And that's huge, right? So we need more women in the economic space. We need more women setting up businesses. We need more women actively involved in employing, being leaders of labor or employers of labor, that's the word, employers of labor. Getting people, start a business, expand your business. Don't say, let me just manage the store. Like the money I'm making is enough. It's not just about you. You're making enough money, but you can make much more. And the much more you are making, the more you create another store. You employ somebody to work there. You create another one somewhere else. Employ somebody. That way you're expanding your reach. You're improving the economy as well. And you're also empowering somebody else. You're empowering somebody else, and ultimately the country gets better for it. So this is to say that if you have a business, don't stop at making the money that you need every day. Think about doing much more, but it could link it to how we can make Nigeria better, how we can reduce this recession, how we can reduce this inflation. Think about that. This is my one business. At least if I employ 5 more people, out of the percentage of unemployed youth outside, these 5 people out of that equation, they are out of the statistics. So think that we think global, think more. Don't think about just I want to make sure that I'm eating and I'm okay. Once you are done, you are sure that you're eating and you're okay. Start thinking of how you can impact somebody else, how you can better somebody else. And that is also one reason why we need women-centered policies that can encourage women to actually be involved in the workforce, in entrepreneurship and education as well. All right, so I'll just move quickly to the second point, and that is enhancing governance and leadership. Right? Say the next time, the quote on my left hand side says, the next time you're about to call a little girl bossy, say instead that she has executive leadership skill. Every one of us, every child, if you look at children, sometimes they remind us of ourselves that, oh, I used to be very bold. I used to say what's in my mind. I used to just talk. I'm very free. I'm very happy-go-lucky. You know, people say that, and but at some point, people had shut them up, and that's why they go into their shell, and they just realize at some point they are 30, 40, they don't even look like who they were as children anymore. And this is because somebody probably went up saying, keep quiet, don't talk. It's not, a woman is not supposed to do this. I can imagine if a room where there's that boys and girls in the house, and probably the girl is asking, Mommy, why am I doing when I should be washing plates? Mommy saying, no, keep quiet there. And when you get to your husband's house, this is how you be doing. All those little conversations affect how the child will grow up to think. And then she begins to think that, oh, I'm lesser than the guy. Oh, I'm lesser than the boy. The boys can go and chill and cross their leg and follow with daddy. Why we must find the firewood, or we must turn on the gas, or we must do this, So it is from that early age, right, that these things happen. So I just put the quote here to just ensure to tell us that sometimes what we even say to children or what we say to ourselves affects how we see ourselves. If you see yourself as a leader, as a potential change maker, you will become a change maker eventually. So next time you see a girl that is bossy, tell her she has executive leadership skills, right? And that encourages her. She might need to refine it a bit more, of course. But by saying bossy, you've just shut her up and it looks like it's a negative trait, which isn't right. So women perspective in leadership and decision making needs more inclusive and effective governance. And I have an example from Rwanda, where women hold 61% of the parliamentary seats. So it's possible. We are still driving 3% and 4% in Nigeria, and we are 50% of the population. We should cover our people. And look at Rwanda here, they hold 61%, and we all know about Rwanda, because I imagine that most people do, about the progress that they're making in Rwanda, how the country is moving well, even though we are still finding that we are the giant of Africa. We know in our heart of hearts that Rwanda is actually making a lot of giant strides compared to what the situation in our country. And that's not to say they don't have their challenges. They do indeed have their challenges. They need to go down the foot of everything. So they have their own downside, right? But at the same time, we are celebrating the success here where they have 61% of parliament of women in parliamentary seats. And that's it for them. And in Nigeria, we don't even have 10%. They have 3% in the House of Rep and 4% in the Senate. That's really, really low. So imagine, how can we really get a need for, how can we really get women-centered policy when even the women there, I'm sure they're probably overwhelmed. I'm trying to even make sure that nobody sends them out of the room. They're able to they're trying to hold their seat very carefully or guard it for their heart. And they are now saying, please advocate for maternal treatment, for maternal care for women. Please advocate for this and that. A lot of people can see that. I'm even trying to agree. People are saying I should advocate and all of that. So when we have more women in the room, we can also, it is easier for us to hold hands together and push for bills, push for policies, and see them approved. And also, policies are not just only at the government level. There are policies in our house. There are policies in our offices. So if you hold a managerial position at you have, what policy are you putting in place? What are you teaching to the management of the organization? There was someone who was also in the room. I don't know if you know Mrs. Funto Ibioye. She was also at the program at Nip Africa in August. And then she was saying that in our office, people don't come to work on Monday, that they work for him on Monday. She's, of course, the CEO. And she made the rules. She said, people shouldn't come to work on Monday, that the hustle and bustle of leaving their house in Lagos and coming. By the time they get into the office on Monday, everything their creative juice is gone. What do they want to achieve? And again, after the whole activity. That's because she owns her office. Of course, in Nigeria, that's not the case. Most people come to work on Monday. But here is somebody in our own organization, because she is the owner, she's able to make policies like that work. So I would be surprised if in our office, probably women have 5 months of maternal leave. That's a choice. It's our organization, it's a policy, right? So also we have sphere of influence. If in your house is what the policy you're going to first start with is, if my baby girl washes plate on Monday, the baby boy is washing on Tuesday. That's part of it. Also already communicating that sense of equality, that no one is better than the other, no one is lesser than the other. That's also policy. Interesting. If you have a business, you have a shop, you have a friend, and start to introduce it. Oh, women who are menstruating, you have 2 days out of your 4 days or 5 days, your first 2 days, you can take a leave or work from home on those days. That's you making some policies to favor women and also encourage more women to be involved, to be productive on their job, to climb the ladder faster, and also make impact in place of leadership as they go. Right. So I think the third point now leads me to having a women-centered policy will help us to address gender-specific issues. I mentioned this before, that issues around maternal health, gender-based violence, unequal access to education. Where maybe guys may even understand unequal access to education, but gender-based violence, maternal health, it's we women that know what we go through. We have friends that have gone through some. We have friends, we have mothers, sisters, aunties who have experienced some of these things, right? and we are able to say, no, if I get to a position of authority, I'll make sure that this and this happen. I know many times when people talk about rape, like anybody that rapes somebody should be castrated, there should be no arguments, they should castrate the person. But guys be feeling like, castrate, what did she wear? No, it's not about what you wear, it's not about what you wear. And you see the argument. So imagine when have positions of power or influence in make choices. There won't be any debate because the woman that knows what it means for somebody to, it's not even just what happens in the moment. It's the ripple effect, the trauma. You keep imagining every time you want to have it comes to your mind. Like by the time you think and think about it over and over, it's like you've changed the person's life without even knowing, and just because of some pleasure, even if I'm not wearing anything, you shouldn't wear, and nobody should go anywhere, right? So not to talk of people that rape children or sleep with small children. You know, a woman will be able to relate. Even now, I'm not fighting, but I can't, the passion is there that a woman will be able to relate more and make policies that help to solve this problem or put stringent measures. There's no excuse. A friend of mine was telling me about a situation that happened somewhere in Lagos Street, that a mother came home and met her husband and talked about the daughter. And then because she's looking at the mercy of the guy, she didn't even know what to do. All she did was to take the child away. And she now went to the lady's mom. I was like, this is what I saw. What should I do? He said they had to even get the police. That that you believe that some men locked the guy in their room and said the police cannot come into that room because the mother chose at fault. That because the woman wasn't satisfying her husband. That's why he went to the child. I'm like, is everybody thinking straight? Like what kind of explanation is that? And you know that the guy did not couldn't catch up with the guy. Imagine was a female police or a female DPO that was in that area. It's not possible. I can say bet it 100 times. It's not possible that the guy will go scot-free. They're telling me that somebody locked, we will break the door. We will break the door and drag the guy out. So, we are more passionate when it comes to things like this. And that's why we need more of us to speak for us, to have these policies in place so that we are able to protect not just this generation that we are in, but even future generations to come. Some of the benefits that we can enjoy now is because some people fought for us. There are times that women cannot vote, but now we can vote. There are times that women, it's even a dream to say you can't even vote, not talk of being involved in politics. But here we are, at least 3%. It's something, and that means we can get better, we can increase, we can move more once we decide to put our hands to put all hands on deck actually. So like here I said, WHO, the example I give says that WHO emphasizes that gender-sensitive health policies improve health outcomes for women, particularly in the area of maternal and reproductive health. That's true. Let's say that postpartum hemorrhage, maternal mortality, child health, amongst other things, right? Female genital mutilation. Those topics are best resolved or addressed when women are actually involved in those conversations, right? So, and I also want us to not think of women as only beneficiaries. We're not just benefiting from it, but we're going to contribute to instituting structures that allow us to be involved. Right, so there's this last one, last point here on the need for women-centered policy, right? It's fostering social stability and reducing inequality. So that we need policies that will empower women to reduce social inequality. That means when women are educated, economically empowered, and politically engaged, they contribute more to resilient communities. I intentionally put this quote because I like it. I don't know if you've watched Shirley. Shirley is on Netflix with a movie too. She's the first African American woman to be elected to the US Congress. She actually contested for the president to be the president of America, but she didn't win. But she became the first African American woman for the US Congress. So she said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. And I would still leave that to the story of Lyra and Simplicity, which was what she did. If you watch the movie, she went to meet the king, told the king that there's this issue, can we resolve it? They don't answer how. If I did talk to her, just more like whoever is talking, just leave my front and all of that. But one thing that stood out is that she was able to rally the women. She left them. They said also that they did not have any yellow, that's what they call it, like a women leader at that time in Abeokuta or Eba community in particular. So she took the responsibility upon herself. There was no space for her in the room, but she got the folding chair. She couldn't enter the palace. She was in front with the women protesting, saying that they are not going to agree, they should remove the taxation, they should do this. And eventually she got a seat. She was able to establish the Abeokuta Women Union. If she didn't take that bold step and say, there's no space for women leaders, so there's no need, God will be helping all of us, and leave it at that. I'm sure that we won't be discussing our story today in this conversation, but there won't be any movie on Netflix to correct here in Nigeria. So what I'm saying is that even in the face of no opportunity at all, we can create an opportunity, right? We can bring our folding chair to the seat. That since you know prepare chair for me, I carry my own from my house and I come and put it, pitch my pen beside me. And we see that happen. See something like Electa. Electa helps women who are interested in politics to raise funds sometimes to do their campaign and advocacy and all of that, right? So you have very leading ladies women that want to encourage people to lead Africa. So if there is no space for you, you can create something and then bring more women to join you on board, which is what she did. She was not the only one fighting for herself. She was, of course, in fact, at some point they had to ask her that, but you are not paying the tax. What's the problem? She said, it's not about her. It's about the women of Eba. It's about the future generation, because if you allow this tomorrow, you don't know what they will take away from you again. She wasn't paying tax. She wasn't a market woman, but she fought for the market woman and eventually started the Abeokuta Women Union. So that's to say that all of us there's a possibility for us to make a change wherever we find ourselves. It's only if we turn a blind eye. And I'm encouraging us today that let's not turn a blind eye. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard. But can we do it? Yes, we can do it. Right. So finally, to round up my presentation, I will share with us practical steps and collaboration for change. So I'm saying that in Nigeria, where gender parity is achieved, it's both political and economic sphere, and where women have equal opportunity to contribute to national development, it's very possible collectively, right? So one person cannot do it. If a woman comes out to campaign for presidency today, are we willing to support her? Are we willing to push to support her campaign? Are we willing to volunteer to do rallies and all of that, right? And maybe that's not just it. Even if somebody in your class, if somebody in your environment, your local government wants to go out for a position or anything, are we willing to support other women that we see? Are we also willing to receive support when it's our turn? Because women to sometimes we try to do this, I can do all bad by myself. It's not true. We need help from each other. We need to hold each other's hand to support. You can see it in the guys, the men, they usually full support for each other. You see them at the football club, they're playing ball, they can switch from one side to another side, to side their friends, they can go anywhere. We women too should also, we as women as well, we should also encourage ourselves, be willing, be interested in helping, supporting each other. If the women out there know that it's for everybody, she's not going there for herself. It's not because she wants to blow, she wants her name to. She's doing it for every other woman coming after her. Mrs. Fumilara Tonkutia is long dead. She's dead a long time ago. But her story still inspiring many children, many young people, many of us till today. If she had said, oh, and they said my wife is small, let me go and sit down. We won't hear our story today, we'll be encouraged, we'll be motivated by it, right? So just to say for practical step, I try to consolidate it into four, that there is a bit around engaging, advocating, support, and mobilize. So you can either engage by actively doing conversations like this, attending town hall, public forum, raising your hand. Sometimes you go to these town hall meetings, go there, there's a political party that you think you can join the political party, go for their meetings. When they say, if you say I say I, if it's only that saying me, raise your hand, be involved. That way you are giving yourself, making sure that you are contributing your voice, you're lending your voice to issues, and you're making a change. Then another one is advocating. Advocating means raising our awareness. And like I said, you don't have to start a campaign, you don't have to start an outreach. If what you can do is to gather everybody during Christmas or during May at home, all the girls corner this evening, and you sit down with them, you educate them, you teach them about their self-identity, and you help them to let them share that. So who bullied you in school today? This guy bullied me. No, next time tell him you shouldn't bully you. Next time report to a teacher. Even if it's that is advocacy. That is advocacy, and it counts. It's going somewhere. So beyond doing the social media awareness, having a YouTube page or an Instagram page or Twitter account, making advocacy. If you are doing that, excellent. If you think that you don't have bandwidth, it's not too much. Any girl around you, any young woman around you, call them together. Advocacy also is pushing for specific policy changes, right? Maybe when you see there's some form that they will share, please sign this form. Of course, be careful because a lot of spam these days. if you trust the source, also join your hand, support that, sign the bill, and all of that. Then in terms of supporting, you can provide support to NGOs. There are many NGOs, civil society organization, CSOs, and the like that are supporting women rights, right? Join them, support them. If it's 20 naira, you have to go donate. If it's 2K, if it's 2 million, give to them, right? You can just look around and say there is this particular woman that has a small child and she's okay. At this age, she shouldn't be okay. Please, how much is her school fees? It's just 10,000. Don't worry, every semester or every term, come and ask me. I will give you this 10,000 for this child. But I don't want to see her on the road again because I don't want anybody to abuse her on the road. God will bless your business. But for this child, this school fees, I will pay. Those are little things that you can do in your environment that can also make a change by supporting. Another way to support is also to talk. You see somebody with your neighbor abusing a woman, beating, domestic violence, there are organizations that you can call. She may not be able to call them because she's probably scared, she's in a meet, she doesn't know. It's easy for you to pick up your phone, dial those helplines and say, there's somebody in my neighborhood that has this issue and I think they require attention, right? And let the Lord take its course. When they come, they will know how to handle the issue. But you have saved a life, actually. You have saved a life, you saved their children's life, actually, right? So the last one is mobilize. Mobilization is a lot more in around bringing people together and communities and allies to build strong fronts, right? That's when you say you're having this Abeokuta Women Union, she leads Africa, this here and I even this AWLN, right? It's also a form of mobilization where you're bringing women together every month. We're discussing topical issues, we're discussing this, we're trying to see what outreach are we going to do this year. So that way, if you can't do it by yourself, you can always join yourself in existing organizations already or allies and make a case. There is EIE, enough is enough. They're always pushing out for bills to be signed. Yaga Africa also pushes for some bills to be signed, not too young to run, all those type of things. Join those type of things, support them. Or even if all you can support is your money, it's a graphic design, is to repost, even that is part of it, even if it's to reshare their content. You may not follow them to what's the name of this place where they do protest. You may not follow them to the front of this Unity Foundation ahead. You may not go to Unity Foundation and carry placard, but you are reposting on your status. Maybe somebody else that is on status before is still part of you lending your voice and joining the mobilization. So I hope that with all I've said, I've been able to encourage us. And I hope that we are able to also learn something from all of us ourselves. Like I said, please write it in if you haven't written before. One thing that you're going to do differently this time to ensure that, and this one thing you're doing is in line with our topic, which is the need for women policies. So what am I going to do that will be bring us one step closer to having more women policies in Nigeria? Thank you so much, and I'll just hand that back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If we can all unmute our mics and appreciate our guest speaker for today. That was such a lovely presentation. Thank you. Several points highlighted on the role of families, individual expectations, our need to engage as a community, the need for all of us to advocate, support, and mobilize. And she made a very vital point that it stayed with me, as in I just kept dwelling on it. In the opening statement, she mentioned the fact that women make up about 50% of the Nigerian population. Sadly, we have just about 3% of them in the Senate and only 4% at the House of Rep. And following that, our guest also, brought to our attention that this is actually a drop of 19% from what we had in the past. That's quite a huge gap. How did we fall that low to lose what the progress we were making? I'm just reasoning. Is it that we are not engaging enough? We are not advocating for ourselves enough? We're not supporting one another enough and mobilizing more and more women to put themselves forward to lead? to lead. Thank you so much for such succinct and deep appreciation of gender gap as regards to policies, even in homes where things we didn't think were important in terms of what we expect our younger ones to do, our little ones. We constantly tell them they have to do this because they're going to their husband's house. They should be able to do things because they are human. They should learn these skills. They are survival skills. They are necessary skills. And these are things we should be able to alternate for our boys too. It's not enough for the girls to take on domestic work. Our boys should be empowered and skilled in doing such things too. It's quite an eye-opening discussion, especially on the aspect of leadership within the country. And I love the whole Fumilayo and some Kuti analogy. As a matter of fact, I think every school should watch that. Every home should make their kids actually watch that. Secondary school, it's silly how the only thing they talk about Fumilayo and some Kuti is the fact that, oh, she was the first person to drive a car, first woman to drive a car in Nigeria. Oh my goodness, this woman did a whole lot more. As in, she had a huge impact within the political sphere of Nigeria, and we reduced her to just driving a car. Like, that is all we ever talk about in the secondary school when we discuss history. So it's important for us I'm happy that so many people are seeing the need to document women's story and, put it in such a way that people can watch the glamour and entertainment of their history and at the same time pick up the lessons. I know someone earlier complained about the fact that they are unable to chat. Angela, I was trying to get Angela to enable chat. I don't know what's going on. Why participants can't drop chat. Angela.
No, Angela. So everybody should put on mute, and I try to tell everyone, I'm trying to unmute them, but excuse me, some people decline. They don't want to speak or they don't want their cameras on. So, but if you want to speak, you should be able to unmute your mic.
Okay. Someone said she wanted to send a message in the chat box.
To be able to unmute their mic.
Okay. Please, we can send in our questions and contributions. We can unmute our mic to ask our questions and contribute. Thank you so much, Ayomide Olanipeku.
I have a question anyway. If Ayomide is still on.
Yes, go on.
Is Ayomide still on? I have a question for her.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so you mentioned that there was a decline from 2019 to 2023, right? The number of women in the National Assembly reduced drastically, right?
Yes.
Abide, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm responding.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
So yes, I want to know. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. The number of women in the National Assembly reduced from what we had in 2019. We had more women in the National Assembly as compared to 2023, and I want to know why did we have this drastic change? Is it that women are afraid to contest, or they don't have the funding, or they lack, so to say, political godfathers?
Okay, if I should respond, I've not been able to find the statistics that clearly analyze what the exact reasons are. I know how Nigeria getting voter is pretty hard, but it's not. We can't deny the fact that these questions are like what you have said. The options are possibilities. It could be that there are no funds. It could be that there are no women who are available, or it could also be that maybe they didn't contest as well, or possibly events that have happened over time And these things are in penny of maybe we didn't have more than those who were there in 2019, and this is 2023. They can't probably be re-elected, or for some reason they moved out. And we had cases where we also had women having to, let me not say forcefully leave their position of power, but there was the issue with the Ministry of Humanitarian Service now. But that wasn't even as far back as 2019. We had some cases that I think there's a woman also, Mrs. Kemi now also, the Minister of Finance who had to leave, and amongst other things like that, due to different reasons. So who knows if this actually somehow discourage more people from being involved, or maybe they've decided to jack up and just focus on their lives abroad outside the country, because the truth is between 2019 and 2020, the number of Nigerians that have left this country is a local to other countries. So we can't really say for a fact that this is the reason, but there are many contributing factors that could have led to the decline that we currently see. So I agree that it's actually important to know what to do so that we can begin to push for it ahead of 2027. So that it's not that by 2027 we're saying that it's 0% that we have. So, of course, I pray not. I hope that one way to do it is also for us to start plugging ourselves into positions of power and authority as soon as we can. For instance, how many of us are in the political party? I'm just trying to join one now. After I spoke to you, I applied, but I haven't got a response and all of that. So those type of things. So how do we get into it? Sometimes you need somebody to take you in. All these they are send a form on their website. I've done that for 2 different parties now, and I've not gotten any response. So, some of these things might be one of the contributing factors discouraging younger people and also the older ones as well from being involved. But I hope that with this awareness, if we're able to raise more awareness, more people should be able to step up and also be involved. So,